see this later um, on YouTube. Okay, so it is Thursday, April 16th. I think it's something like day 18, I think, of our distance learning. So we are still going strong here. Hope everybody is safe and healthy out there. So today we are going to be calculating our speed and acceleration, and we're also going to be graphing it. So on Tuesday, when we got together last, we talked about a homework assignment that was called My Workout, and you were to gather three workouts or data from 3 workouts from PE over the last week or so. From what I understand, you are supposed to submit that you've done like 3 workouts each week. So that's why I chose 3. And the data you were supposed to be bringing with you today was your distance and your time. So let me show you that document, what the My Workout document looks like here. So this is the, let me make it bigger. Okay, this is the document I posted on Edsby last Sunday, and I referred to it on Tuesday. I showed this to you on Tuesday, and I said that today you needed to have this part with you. You needed to bring me your data. That's your distance and your time for 3 different workouts that you have done. There was one person, I know Trevor talked to me about the fact that he does like weightlifting instead of something with distance. And we chatted about how he might be able to use that data. Or he was just going to bring some data that he might have, done. Okay, anyway, so that is what you're bringing with you today. And then today what we're going to do in class is we're going to calculate our speed for each workout, and then we're going to graph our speeds, and then we're going to calculate our acceleration and graph that. So I'm going to help you with that. This document is due Monday by 8 p.m. And so if you don't finish it today, then you have some time. And you're also going to turn in your notes, your speed and acceleration notes we did on Tuesday. I'm going to go back to our slide to show you the rest of that. So on Tuesday, I assigned a couple of things. I assigned a homework assignment called How Fast Can Usain Bolt Run the 40-Yard Dash? And don't forget that is due today by 8 p.m. There is a submit box for it. A couple of you have turned it in already. This is an assignment that is available for the free homework pass. If you joined us in the Jeopardy game last Wednesday, right before the test, we had a live Zoom Jeopardy game, and there were 15 of you that showed up for that and participated. So you all have excused messages in your box or in your grade book for this assignment, but the rest of you, it's due by 8 p.m. today. The other thing that is due today, of course, is those data for your 3 PE workouts. That's due right now because you need to use it right now. And then on Monday, you will turn in the My Workout that we are going to do today. There's a submit box for that. And your speed and acceleration notes that we did on Tuesday. I told you guys that we would be turning them in later. I just wanted you to keep a hold of them so you would have them for today's assignment. But now that I think about it, you could submit them and still have them now that we're doing this virtually and you're not handing in a real paper. Okay, so, but that's okay. I've already set a submit box up for the speed and acceleration notes that we did together on Tuesday for Monday, and both of them are open till 8 p.m. So get those in, and if you missed those notes, there is a YouTube video for it on my channel. Oops, sorry. Okay, materials you should have out right now is your data for the 3 PE workouts. So you should have that with you. You should also have that worksheet we were just looking at, the My Workout worksheet, which again looks like this right here. Okay, that's what we're using today. And oops, I did not mean to stop sharing it. Let's go back to the slide. You also want a calculator today. That's going to be important. So have a calculator handy. It might be your cell phone. That's what I'm using. But you will want that. And optional stuff here, your speed and acceleration notes might be handy for your equations, but I am going to be giving those to you and we're going to be doing it together. So might not be necessary, but could be handy for you. Another option is graph paper for graphing. It's just easier to do on graph paper, and then you could take a picture of it and send it to me, or you can just do it right on the worksheet like I have it set up, and maybe use like a ruler or some type of straight edge to help you with making straight lines. All right, is there any questions? Are there any questions out there right now? Let's check it out and see if anybody has anything to say before we get started. Doesn't look like it. Raise your hand if you do. Think there. Oh, Trevor raised his hand. Okay, Trevor, what's up?
Okay, so for my workouts, I actually did have the running thing for like the miles and stuff. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because not you don't have to always have to run for PE.
Oh, okay.
But I do run sometimes, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to like submit it for running. That's what I meant to say.
Gotcha. I did talk to Coach Hilland about that, and he agreed. He said the same thing, that they can submit different things. Oh, we got some people joining us here. But good. I'm glad you have your distance and time stuff. Thank you, Trevor. Good morning, John. Good morning, Asher. And welcome back, Bryson. Oh, I see you fixed it, Bryson. Thank you so much. All right, excellent. So those of you just joining us there, we have, this is our daily slide, and I was just getting ready to leave it and go to our work today. But since you just joined us, I will mention real quick that you have your data for 3 PE workouts today, I hope. And the data I'm looking for is your distance and your time. And I've got mine, and so I'm going to show you examples of how I did it. Good morning, Caleb. So glad that you could join us. Glad to see you here. All right, so again, for Caleb and Asher and John, yeah, who just came to join us, and Bryson, who came back, and you guys have your data, which is your distance and time for 3 PE workouts. We're going to use that data today. So that's due right now. You also have my workout worksheet handy, which looks like this right here. This is what we're going to be doing this together today with your data. So the data you maybe wrote in right here. If not, you could do so right now. And this whole worksheet will be due for a grade on Monday by 8 p.m. But we are going to attempt to get it all done today in class. Might be kind of a steep order because there is math and graphing involved, and this is new for you. So I know that not everybody loves their math, but it is pretty simple math. So I'm here to help you. Of course, you can always join my office hours at 2 o'clock today to get help as well. And you can always message me on Etsy. All right, and so you have that worksheet, you have your data, you have a calculator handy because we are going to be calculating. Maybe use your cell phone if that's more available to you. Optional, the notes might help you, although I am going to be right here with you, but your equations for speed and acceleration are in your notes. Yes, Asher, how may I help you? Oops. Trying to, okay, you can unmute yourself. I don't see you anymore, Asher. Did you?
Hello.
I gotta figure out.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. So, Asher, how can I help you?
My all my workouts that I've been doing haven't been running workouts. I have like a couple like workout machines in my backyard. I've
Okay.
been doing those.
But
So
you don't, oh no, wait.
if you're doing distance and time, it's like I go like 0.02 miles. It's like I don't go anywhere. I'm just
Okay.
yeah.
Why don't you then just make up some data? Data for 3 workouts. If you were going to run, how far would you go? How long would it take you? Data. Is anybody
Well,
else echoing? Raise your hand if you hear echo. Okay, yep. Me too, and I haven't heard that. Let's go ahead. Let me see if I mute everybody. I don't know if you guys, you should all be muted anyway, I think, except for Asher. Go ahead and make sure you're muted. I think I just muted you all. Okay, so is anybody here? Oh, I don't hear the echo anymore. Okay, I think that's what it was. And Asher, it actually kind of started when we unmuted you, so it might have something to do with that, but it's all good now. Okay, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Oh, I mentioned also that graph paper might be handy and a ruler or straight edge to draw straight lines. You could have those handy as well, but they are not necessary, just helpful. Okay, all right, so what we are going to do first is looking at this document right here. You've got your data for your distance and your time, and you want to include your units. So is your distance in miles? Is your time in minutes or hours? We want to make sure that whatever units you're using, we're going to be consistent throughout. So if you're going to use miles for distance, you're going to use it for all 3 workouts, and maybe time might be in hours. Then you could get your speed in miles per hour, which is a speed that you can relate to. Whereas if we do it in feet per minute, it may be harder for you to relate to it. It's okay if you want to do that though, but we do want to stay consistent. We can't have some in feet and some in miles, some in hours and some in minutes. Okay, so what I am going to do here is I really wish that I had a document camera that worked with my computer, but I don't. So bear with me. I did all of this on paper. I'm going to hold it up. So yeah, that's the first thing. Okay, so let me get this situated. All right, so you can see my data up there for 3 workouts. So in workout number 1, I kind of jogged 1 mile, and it took me 30 minutes. And in my second workout, I went a half of a mile, 0.5, in 10 minutes. And I was running a little fast there. And then in workout 3, I went 2.25 miles in 1 hour. Okay, so that's my data. So hopefully you can put your data in there if you haven't already. All right, so anybody have, okay, I still have people raising their hands. So just in case, so Natalie, is there anything you would like to say? I got you unmuted, Natalie. Do you want to talk? Oh, I thought I did. No? Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Natalie, anything you want to say? No. Hands went down. Okay. How about Trevor? Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I thought we didn't have school Monday.
Huh. You know, okay, since you brought that up, I did see on EdSpe that it said that Monday is a non-student day. We have a meeting. Mr. Wolford called the meeting for us today at 3 o'clock, and he said he's going to explain Monday to us. So I actually didn't know that, but I think you might be right. I think maybe there is no school on Monday. I don't know for sure. So, all right. I guess what I could do is change our due date to Tuesday morning. And then that'll maybe I'll do it Tuesday at noon instead of Monday at 8 p.m. That way, since it's not a student day, you might not log in. I'll change that. Thank
Okay.
you for that, Trevor.
Mhm.
And Asher, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, if we're doing like a distance, would you do like if my time was like 5:30 something, would you just do like 5 or would you do 6 or would you do like the exact time like 5:30
So try to do your exact time.
Okay.
And you're probably making data up, so maybe you can make it a little easier on yourself with round numbers, but yeah, try, because we're going to convert, and that's what actually I'm going to show you how to do next. If you aren't already in miles and hours for your distance and your time, maybe you might want to convert it to that to make it easier for you. So let's go ahead and try that. So, and don't forget, if you did get your question answered and you'd raised your hand, don't forget to lower it, or else I'll think I'll still have a question. Just as a reminder, because I would forget. Thanks, Ashley. Okay. All right. So what I did here was I had my distance already in miles, but I had my time in minutes. And I kind of wanted to change my time to hours so that I could do my speed in miles per hour. So if you happen to have your distance in feet and you want to change it to miles, what you'll do is you'll take your feet and divide it by 5,280. And that is how many feet are in 1 mile. Raise your hand if your distance data is in feet. Did anybody do that? I'm assuming, because of the app you're using, you're probably already in miles. I don't see anybody raising their hands, so I am assuming that you guys have it in miles already, or you don't have data. I don't know. Okay, or you're making up data right now. All right, but I'm hoping you can do actual data so you can really see how you're doing on your workouts. So if you want to change your minutes to hours, like I need to do, then you would take your minutes and divide by 60 to get your time in hours, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I've given you some examples right here. Let's see, we're mirror imaged here. Okay, so 1,000 feet. Let's say you walked 1,000 feet in 10 minutes. Then you would change your feet to miles by doing 1,000 divided by 5,280, and you'd get 0.19 miles. That's about 21 hundredths of a mile. And then for the 10 minutes into hours, you would divide 10 by 60 and get 0.17 hours. And then to calculate your speed, which is what I want everybody to do next, you would do distance divided by time, which is 1 point, in my example here, that would be 0.19 miles divided by 0.17 hours. So in that example, that person would have been moving at 1.1 miles per hour. So what you're doing right now is calculating your speeds for your 3 workouts. So I did mine. Okay, yeah, here we go, this way. Yeah, so in my first workout, I went 1 mile in a half an hour, so 0.5. So 1 divided by 0.5 is 2 miles per hour. And I changed my 10 minutes into 0.17 hours. So I went 1/2 of a mile in 0.17 hours. That was my fastest workout at 2.9 miles per hour. And then my third workout, I went a really long walk with Miss Kara, but we kept our social distance. And that was 2.25 miles per hour. So that was kind of my medium what do I say? My medium speed. Yeah. Okay. So that's what you guys are doing right now. Let me know. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to try to do that. And let me know if anybody is needing any questions, or has any questions about their data and how to calculate their speed. So you're calculating 3 different speeds. You know, your speed for workout 1, your speed for workout 2, and your speed for workout 3. Okay. So let everybody do that. John, do you have a question? Let me check. Yes, John.
So I am extremely confused.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
for
Same.
I biked, so I got, in 31 minutes, I got 3.02 miles.
Okay, say it again.
So I got 3.02 miles
3.0. Okay.
in 31 minutes.
Ooh, you're fast. Okay, so you would, so in your 31 minutes, to change that to hours, you're going to do 31 divided by 60. And that'll
Okay.
get you your minutes in hours, which is what, 0.51? Something like that? Because it's almost, 0.5.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then you would do your 3.02 miles divided by your, 0.51 hours or whatever that is. And that'll get your speed in miles per hour. And you're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. Giving you a little bit of time.
Do the Zoom call. Listen.
What's that, Toby?
I'm also a little confused.
Okay. How can I help?
So I got a mile in 10 minutes.
Okay. I did that one too, I think. No, that wasn't quite my data. Okay, so you did 1 mile in 10 minutes. Okay, so you're already in miles, and then you just need to change your minutes into hours. So do 10 divided by 60, and that should give you 0.17. So it's 0.17 of an hour. So then you would do 1 divided by 0.17, and you'd have your speed in miles per hour. Got it?
Okay, so I divide 1 by 1.7.
You divide 1 by 0.17, 0.17.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. What was your speed, Toby?
5.88235.294.
Okay. So you were pretty fast. So what, let's not go to the, thousands or 10,000s place. Let's just go
Like
like
5.8.
one number to the right of the decimal. So like what, 5.1?
It was 5.8.
Okay, 5.8. Gotcha.
But I'm gonna round up since it's like 5.88.
Yes, so that'd be 5.9.
5.9.
Yeah, miles per hour. Gotcha. All right. Anyone else need help with their 3 speeds for their 3 workouts? And again, if you don't have that data, you can make some data up. I probably won't know the difference, but it's just more interesting if you're actually using stuff that you did. But yes, Bryson. Okay. Yes, Bryson? There, okay.
I had a time of 30 minutes and 13 seconds. Would I times that? Well, would I divide that by? Would I divide that by 16? No, 60 minutes, and then I would get my hour.
Okay. Well, actually, you wouldn't do 30.13 because it's 13 seconds, you said, right? Which isn't 0.13 of a minute. But you know what? I'm gonna let you make it this a little bit easier, because what we would do is convert your seconds to minutes, which would be a decimal, but it wouldn't be 0.13, and then we'd divide by 60. But since it's so close to 30 minutes, let's just say it's 30 minutes, which is 0.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll make that easy for you. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, okay. Let's see, Noah.
Okay, I got I biked and I got the time as 30 minutes, and the
Okay.
distance was 5.33 miles.
Okay. So you're going to change your 30 minutes into an hour. So that's 30 divided by 60, which is 0.5. So that's how you change your minutes to hours. And then you've already got your distance in miles. So then you would do your 5.33 for your miles divided by your 0.5 hours. And you'd have your speed in miles per hour. Okay, great. Yes, Caleb.
Okay, so I'm kind of confused on some of this. So if I were okay, so on my first workout I was 6.18 miles in 30 minutes. And
Okay.
so if I turned 30 minutes into 0.5 of an hour, would that be
Yes.
correct?
Right, yes.
Okay.
So then you do 6.18 divided by 0.5, and you'd have your speed in miles per hour.
Okay. That
Okay.
makes more sense.
Great, awesome. How about you, John? You still having some issues?
Yes. So the graphing part, now I'm confused about that.
Well, we're going to
So-
graph together, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that next step. So this right now, everybody's just
So
trying to
she did it with
calculate
me
their
homework.
speed for their
She
3
did everybody
workouts.
else.
Yeah, I
don't
got
flip
my
up.
speed.
Not everybody.
All right. Anybody
And
have a question about
Because she
calculating
didn't,
their speeds?
Want me to do the homework.
And John, I think you're, let me mute you again. There we
Question.
go. Yes, Toby?
How many workouts do we have to calculate?
3. All right, Noah, do you still have another question, or did you just forget to lower your hand?
Had paid attention from the beginning.
Okay, and Asher?
And
I just did like 1 mile in 5 minutes because that's pretty close to my actual time.
Okay,
So if I do that, would I just do 5 divided by 60?
5 divided by 6?
60 to get like my hour. Like, do I have to convert that into hours?
So tell me your data again.
So my distance was 1 mile, and then my time was 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. So then what you would do is you would take 5 divided by 60 to change that to hours. And that'll be like a decimal, right?
I'm gonna do
And
that.
then
It's
do 1 divided by that.
0.08.
Yeah, it's pretty fast, isn't it? What is that speed?
Well, if I do the 5 divided by 60, it's 0.083.
0.083. Okay, so then 1 divided by 0.08.
Okay.
Let's see, what's that?
1.2.
Oh yeah, so that's what 12. That's pretty fast.
That's what?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fast. Okay. Noah, and another question? Sorry. For some reason it doesn't always want to. There we go. Okay, Noah, another question.
so this time I had 29.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Ashley, could you turn your microphone? Let me turn my microphone off. There we go. Okay. For some reason, Asher's microphone makes it vibrate or echo. Okay. What'd you say, Noah?
Okay, so my time on this one was 29 minutes and 41 seconds, and the distance was 5.31 miles.
Okay. So first, you want to take your minutes and turn it into hours. So you're 29.41 divided by 60.
Okay.
Right, divided by 60, that should give you 0.49. Okay, and then you're going to do your 5.31 miles divided by 0.49.
Okay.
So that should be your 5.31 divided by 0.49, 10.8 miles per hour. Pretty fast. All right. I am hoping we can go on now to our graphing. So, all right. So now we're going to graph our average speed. You were probably not going a constant speed throughout your workout, but we are going to, so we're just going to assume that over your workout, you had this as an average speed. So you're taking the data that you just had, your distance and your time. You're not really dealing with your speed data right now, or your speed calculation, I'm sorry. You're not really using your speed calculation right now, you're using your distance and your time. And let's make graphs, see if you can see this here. My workout 1, see each graph, all 3 of my workouts, I forgot to write workout 3, have a graph that looks the same. Like I've set them up as distance on the y-axis, time on the x, and I've already did those, you know, kind of set them up for you on your worksheet that you're using, but you're going to have to put the numbers in. Now the numbers, I use these numbers because they work with my data. They may or may not work with your data. So I know some of you, like Asher and Noah, were just saying that you went like 5 miles. So I've only got, notice my distance only goes up to 2.5 miles because that was the largest distance that I traveled. So you want to make sure all your graphs look the same as far as the setup with the numbers, so that you can compare them. And your data needs to make sense, or I'm sorry, your graph needs to make sense for your data. So if your longest distance was 10 miles, then you want your distance to go all the way up to 10 miles instead of 2.5. And maybe you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe you do like I did as 0.5, 1, 1.5. It doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent and the spaces between each are evenly spaced. So you can't go 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. You gotta keep it consistent, and do that for all 3 graphs so that we can compare all 3 graphs. So these are distance versus time graphs. And once you have your numbers in, you are going to just place a dot. That's right, it's a mirror. Okay, so this dot right here is my distance. I went 1 mile that first day, and I did it in a half of a minute, or a half of an hour, 30 minutes. So I took the intersection of the 1 and the 0.5 and put a dot right there. And then I drew a line from the 0, 0, the corner of the graph. And I used like a straight edge and then connected the dot and made my line there. And I did that for my workout number 2 as well. Sorry, this is so awkward because it's a mirror image. So I have to go, okay, here, okay. So in my second workout, I went only a half a mile, but I did so in 10 minutes, which was 0.17. So I was way over here. Notice this line here has a steeper slope than that one because I'm going faster here. So I can get this a little closer. You can kind of see that. Okay. And I put a few hints on there. Like keeping evenly spaced. Graph paper works the best for this. Graph paper makes it so much easier. But I didn't have any handy, and you might not either. So this is what you're doing right now for your distance and time for workout 1, 2, and 3. And like I said, on your worksheet that I gave you, the graphs are kind of set up for you. You got to put in your numbers and your data. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of hold this up here, and I'm going to be looking to see if anybody has any questions. Sorry. Okay, there we go. All right. And let's see, Mason. I wish I had a different camera. Trying to chat with you guys and hold this up at the same time is going to be a little more difficult. Okay, let me see. Let me try something. It's a good idea. So I am curious, would it be good to go into breakout rooms and get help from one another versus or in addition to my help? Raise your hand if you think that going into breakout rooms and getting some help with one another might be helpful for you. And I could put a few of you in a breakout room if that would be helpful. Okay, and you're raising your hand if that would be helpful for you. I just see one hand up. Okay. All right. Well, then and feel free to raise your hand if you need help or chat with me. I'm looking through. I think everybody maybe is good right now, and maybe you're just working and graphing. That's what I'm hoping for. I'll show you my third graph here. Another real helpful hint is always label your axes, your X and your Y. So what I mean by that is, like here you've got your X-axis, your time. Make sure you write time and what unit you're using, hours, because is that minutes, seconds, hours, you have to say here. And then distance, oh my gosh, right here. Having a hard time with this mirror thing. Distance is in miles, and that's written there too on the y-axis, so don't forget. And then the big thing I want you to see here, really our big main objective, well, we have 3 objectives today. One was that you could calculate speed and acceleration. 2, that you can graph it. And then 3, I didn't actually write this in our objective on our slide today, but the third objective is I want you to see that the slope of the line is your speed. So speed is graphed on a distance versus time graph, which is what you just are making here, distance versus time line graph. And the slope of the line that you draw is your speed. And in algebra, pre-algebra, you guys are learning how to do slope-intercept form. So you're going to learn how to mathematically calculate this line. And we're kind of doing that here too. So this calculation of this line in y-intercept form is going to give you your speed. So the slope, well, I shouldn't say it wouldn't be your y in your y-intercept. It would be the m in slope-intercept form. M is slope, and the slope of the line is speed. So I am going to be moving on to acceleration now. All right, so you might not have quite finished. And of course, you can finish later on. This isn't due until now Tuesday. So you've got lots of time, really. And you can always watch this video on YouTube and get more time. Okay, so now that we've done our graphs for distance versus time to show our speed, we're going to show how our speed changes. So who knows what we call the change in speed? What's our vocabulary term for the change in speed? Anyone know? Anybody? Anybody? If your notes were handy, Trevor's got it. What do you think, Trevor?
Change in what? Say it again.
Change in speed. What do we call change in speed?
Velocity?
Velocity
Oh, wait,
is
no.
speed in a
That's
certain
not right.
direction.
Yeah,
So
right,
if you
right.
changed your speed and you were speeding up, what would be a term that you might use for that instead of saying speeding up or slowing down?
I can't remember. What is that? Is that an A?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bryson, what you think?
I think
Acceleration. Acceleration.
Yep, acceleration. Yeah, all right. So we're going to calculate our acceleration now. And we got about 10 minutes, maybe a little less. So, okay. So here is our equation for acceleration. It is the change in speed over time. You might think, well, it doesn't look like change of speed. Well, what you're seeing right here is VF minus VI. V stands for velocity. Now, we learned that velocity is speed in a certain direction. And we're not actually using directions here. So really, technically, this is change in speed over time. But the equation is the same. And it's just written this way with V instead of S. Okay? But basically, your V's are going to be your speeds. And so VF is going to be your speed on day 3. So for me, my speed on day 3, which was my medium speed, was 2.3 miles per hour. And then your VI is going to be your speed on day 1, which for me was my slowest speed at 2. So I'm looking at the difference between the two. So 2.3 minus 2 is my change in speed. And then we're doing this over our total time. So you're going to add up your times here. And so the first day I went 30 minutes or a half of a minute. A half of an hour. Oh, I see. I made a mistake on my units. That should say, these should say hours, not minutes. So 0.5 hours, 0.17 plus 0.1 equals 1.67. So I did, what would this be? So this would be 0.3 divided by 1.67. And I got, this is my acceleration, 0.18. And this would be in miles per hour squared. In other words, every hour I'm speeding up 0.18 miles per hour, every hour. Now, of course, this is 3 different workouts, not one long workout, but that's how we're kind of comparing it. And then, so that's how you're going to do it. You're basically comparing your speed from day 1 to day 3. I could have made this even a little bit more detailed, and we could have figured our speed. But between all 3 days. And I graphed this. So I'm going to show you how to graph it. But you can see here, oh, I hate this mirror thing. Okay, you can see here that I am speeding up between day 1 and day 2 because the slope of the line is increasing. I also want you, this is really important. I meant to say this first. Notice that your graph, this graph, your acceleration graph, is not distance divided by time or distance and time. It is speed and time. And I made sure that you noticed that. Notice this is a different graph. So this graph, the slope of the line on a speed versus time graph, is acceleration. The distance versus time graph, the slope of the line is your speed. Okay, so here you can see I'm speeding up between day 1 and day 2. And on day 2 to day 3, I've slowed down. So if I was looking at just this part of my acceleration, it would be a negative number. Negative numbers for acceleration mean slowing down. Positive numbers mean speeding up. Since I made this a little bit simpler and one less mathematical step, instead of doing it for, comparing each day, I just compared the total workout. So overall, my acceleration increased just a little bit by a positive, positive 0.18. Okay, so when you are graphing this, what you are doing, and this one's a little bit, well, it's really not more complicated. It's just, I'm sorry, can't get this paper just right. Document camera is what I want for Christmas. Okay, so what you'll be doing here is basically you're taking your speed at day 1. My speed at day 1 was 2 miles per hour. And I did that in 0.5 hours. So that's where I have my 0.5 hours and my speed of 2. And that's where that dot goes. So that's my day 1. The intersection of where my speed on day 1 and my time intersect. That's easy enough. Day 2, you want to take your speed at day 2, which for me was 2.9, oops, right here, 2.9 miles per hour. And I want to add up my time from day 1 and day 2. So I did that right here, 0.5 plus 0.17, which is 0.67. So on my graph, I'm at 0.67, which is just a little bit past the 0.5 and all the way up almost to 3 at 2.9. So that's my day 2. And then finally, day 3, my speed was 2.3 miles per hour. So now I want to add up my time for all 3 days. So I don't know how well you can see this here. So I did 0.5 plus 0.17 plus 1. Those are my 3 times. And that gives me 1.67. So that's what I'm putting in for my time. And my speed is 2.3. So here's my time. 1.67 is somewhere closer to 1.5 than it is to 2. So that little dot I made right here. And then going up to 2.3. I got my dot right there for day 3. And then I just connected my dots to show the slope of the line, which is the acceleration. All right, pull this back. Okay, questions, Bryson. Let me unmute you. Yes, Bryson.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have my hand up.
No? Okay, no problem. Let's see. Is Natalie gone? Okay. I thought Natalie asked me a question. I don't think Natalie's here anymore. Okay. All right. Well, this is the assignment. And if you were able to do all of this with me just right now, then you're done and you can turn it in. There's already a submit box for it. If you did this on a piece of paper, by hand, probably the easiest way to submit this is to make to take a picture of it and submit it as a PDF in the box. If you tried to do this like typing it, I don't know how to make graphs on the computer. I know there is a way, so maybe you are able to do that, but I think you'd probably be best to take a picture of this. But if you're having trouble submitting it, and some people are, please let me know. Send me a message or come see me in my office hours or something and let me know you're having trouble submitting it. Another thing I wanted to tell you guys is that Miss Tori, if you remember Miss Tori, my helper, and she helps out in some of the other classes, she's back. So she is going to be helping you guys, especially with submitting work, because that seems to be something you're struggling with. So she can help you figure out how to submit things, because I know some of you are submitting me things I can't open. And then of course she can help as well. And I'm here. I know in this next unit, we're gonna have some fun with it. But there is some math involved. I will tell you, this is the most math. And as we move starting next week into more Newton's laws, there's a little bit less math, but it'll still be there. But we should have some fun with it. And I'm going to do some challenges with you and probably make a fool of myself, but it's going to be a good time. And some of you might even have your videos on for some of these as we do our like physics Olympics together and compete for some fun little physical challenges. So I hope you enjoy. Asher, question?
I'm still really confused.
Okay, on which part?
Like the part where, for your example, it was like 2.3 miles per hour minus 2. I don't know what goes where and what to do.
Okay, gotcha. So then turn off your microphone again. Okay, so what you're doing here is you have your speed. So your VF is going to be your speed for day 3. So for me, my day 3 speed was 2.3 miles per hour. And then you're going to subtract your day 1 speed, because you're comparing. This is the difference in speed, or the change in speed from day 3 to day 1. And so my day 1 speed was 2 miles per hour. So I subtracted those two. And then for my total time, I added up all of my time. So my first workout I went for, and that should say hour, not minute, 0.5 hours. I did 30 minutes. And then I did 10 minutes, 0.17 hours. And then I did 60 minutes or 1 hour. I added all those times up. I didn't show you that step here. I did this would be what, 0.3 divided by 1.67. And that gave me my acceleration between day 1 and day 3 as 0.18 miles per hour. So just a little bit of acceleration. That was fairly consistent. If you're comparing, it's really comparing day 1 to day 3. Kind of skipped 2 a little bit. All right. I hope that helps, Asher. Okay. All right. I got to run, guys. If you need me, I'll be in my office hours at 2 o'clock today. And if you want to send me an Edsby message, do. Yeah, if you need any help, I'm here. Okay. And this will be due on Tuesday. And don't forget to turn in Usain Bolt if you owe that to me today by 8 o'clock. All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.